All right, and we should be live now. Didn't run any of the pre-startup audio and such. Just getting into things. Greetings and salutations, pawns, poppers, and programs. Welcome back to another session of the Grim Adventures of Elidon and Oppenheimer. This is a playtest campaign in the FARAD System 4th Alpha, which I am the designer of. I have with me two players, Dolkara as Oppenheimer and Wolfie as Elidon. And where last we left off the pair of Grim agents, they had investigated a cavern, a warren of sorts, entrance, where they found the body of a student who was dating a previously known student that had tragically died to a headless one, larval young that had burst out of them within their own apartment. With the recent governor's son and a few other students studying herpetology and the timber rattlesnake breeding season, it turned out that the student who had perished and his girlfriend had both tried exploring the area ahead of time and thus ended up in the situation which has unfortunately taken both their lives in a very grim and visceral manner as the larval young burst out of them in separate locations. Trying to not go deeper into the warren without additional people present, the two tried heading back through the forests south of Thornton and heading back to the highway, only to realize that they were being followed and turn around just in time as one of the headless ones and was leaping through the air at the two of them, and the other one was on the ground moving toward them. And that is where we are picking up again. At present, it is evenly matched in terms of they didn't manage to get off a surprise round. So it is going to go to Elidon and Oppenheimer to decide which of the two of them is going to go first, and then after the two of them go, it'll be the two of the headless ones. And the headless one is a little image of them in the space directly above me, a graphic from the mini of them that will be reduced as an released as an STL file when the RPG system eventually goes toward crowdfunding. Kind of a gruesome looking terror. That said, which one of you is going to go first?
I mean, I can always go first.
I was like, you're the one who probably needs to go first because you have like the charging and whatever else you're planning on.
So, if that's the case, I'm going to spend one. I believe, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's spend 1 point to pick up a log, stump, or other self-defensible sized piece of wood.
Correct. And you have one that's immediately next to you.
Perfect. Snatch that, and then I'm going to use induce a defense ability. Let's see. I need to actively pick out sources. Fun. Gonna go with wild.
Okay.
And for the related skill, I would like to use the skill block with the backup skill of reflexes.
Okay.
The goal of this ability is to increase my reflexes and speed and durability of the thing I'm holding collectively to make one I don't want to die ability.
Okay. Um, so you'd be using a shield ability. Block
Yes.
and reflex are skills that would apply when you are trying to specifically like get out of the way of something or to try and protect someone or something else by intercepting. So the shield would be what you're aiming for in this particular case with the induced ability.
Yes.
Okay, so that will give you a +1 to rolls to try and prevent taking a penalty with your statistic adversity checks.
And I believe the log I'm using also gives a +1 because it's not created from the ability. It is a separate item.
Yes, and
Okay.
it will also give you +1 to your maximum with the break roll tracker for how high that can go. However, if you do reach your maximum and something needs to break, if you just used it, then it would be the thing to break.
Okay.
So like if you roll on the break tracker because you take damage and you blocked something, then that is going to break and then you no longer have it.
Okay. And then lastly, I would like to fight defensively. I believe that's a... I don't see that listed.
So you're going to use active defense.
Yes.
Okay. So you'd have your passive defense, everything that you have with that. Your active defense would be if you have anything that specifically gives a bonus to that. So in this particular case, such as using the piece of log, in this case, would be what you have for active defense.
I mean, my passive and active are the same at the moment. I wasn't sure if there was anything else I could do to up my defense.
So having the log does let you use that as part of your active defense.
Okay. So my active would be a 3 right now. One for the log, one for the ability. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what do I have to do? Any rolls or?
You just would have to spend the amount of source points, use wild magic for having it the speed of a free action. Or if you're using more action points. Because right now we're doing it as you're getting normally 2 action points per round, but you have 2 from your previous one before they arrived. So you have 4 available right now. You've used at least 1. If you use more than 1, you use less source points on the induced ability. Or you use them for something else if it comes up, such as a reaction, and just holding on to them for the time being. But you need to use at least one for the induced ability.
Okay. How much would it be for the induce to make it as fast as possible so I have more action points?
1 second here. I am just pulling that up. So it has been a while. Apologies, I had this pulled up previously, but I had to restart my computer and that closed that, so I have to pull it up again. Right. Here we go. Free action abilities, that is +2 to the source point cost. So yeah, it would have to be at least 2, and then you'd have to declare which domain that you're using for the shield.
Right. Probably Bronal to accelerate my reaction time.
Okay, fair enough. So you're going to use 2 AP now to pick up the log, activate the shield, and bank 2 for the time being.
Yeah, because I believe I can do the reactive strike or whatever to possibly reduce their ability to hit me.
Correct.
Perfect. So I guess, started to vibrate in a chronal fashion.
Okay. Then that will be making sure to note that you've got 2 AP banked so that you can use that either if they attack you or for later use, as long as you use it up by the end of the round, which will be another 3 phases. And
Yep.
we move on to Elidon.
We determined that it would be smarter to make my illusionary duplicate first before turning invisible, right?
That probably would be a good idea. Tactically, yes.
Yes. Okay, I was also flying. So I land next to the open first. Hold on, does that? Does that make noise when I fly? That's a bad thing. Then
Okay, so you're going to just allow yourself to glide down to adjacent. Are you going to move further to the south, which is an open space, to the north, which is open, or still have a slight amount of elevation if you go to the southwest?
I will go north.
Okay. And north. And just glide down to the bottom so you don't have to use any action points for that. I will remove your little flight stand on the map once it actually responds. Technology sometimes.
You know, it works
All right.
sometimes.
So that isn't going to cost you any action points because that's just, you already were in the air. You're just allowing yourself to lower. It's not specifically clinging to something. You drop automatically, unlike if you're on a cliff where you intentionally push off or let go. So in that particular case, you're not going to have to spend a action point on that. And I positioned you on the map, and then you can use your abilities.
Okay. So first is creating the illusionary duplicate.
Okay.
I'm not sure how I do it, but I definitely conjure up a duplicate.
Okay. So, one moment. Go to your ability on that. That is a quick action, so that'd be 2 of your AP of the 4 that you have currently, and 2 of the magic source pool that you absorbed earlier, the wild magic from the previous session when you were at the old telephone pole and you had seen the pulse of the wild magic that was sparking around that. So you'll want to mark yourself down 2 from your wild magic pool, and that you have 2 AP still left. And as you have it only at rank 0, and it has an automatic 1 minimum, you have 1 duplicate, which will appear in a space adjacent to you. This can overlay with other individuals, or it can be separate from them. Do you want that to be right where Oppenheimer is, to the north east, directly north of you, or where the current headless one that is 5 feet up in the air is at? You also could put it behind and down, going south west, but that would put it further away from you rather than, it's still adjacent. It's just not going to be as close to the headless ones as one of the other spaces would be.
No, actually, I'm gonna have it closer with open.
Okay. So do you want it in the same space, or do you want it...
Same space.
Same space. Okay. So I'm going to shift a duplicate copy, and I'm going to change its color from gold to a purple once it lets it actually start moving. Usually the program doesn't delay as much, but it's also running OBS and Opera in the background, so it takes a little bit more fiddliness of delays with not continuously using it. Switching back and forth is a little issue, but once I get that set, then that will be your first 2 action points, and then you can choose how you are spending your next 2.
I thought I had the one that said invisibility, but I'm guessing it's just intangibility. Is that the one? I'm thinking of it.
Well, you could induce invisibility. Intangibility would let you move through stuff, like going directly through them,
okay.
and then attacking from behind.
Got it. Yeah, no. I wanted to induce the invisibility.
Okay. Then that'll be another 2 source points, since, well, you could do it as a quick action rather than a free action, but then that would be a single source point if you did that. Or you can still save the 1 source point and do it as the free action.
I'm gonna do it as a free action. So I'm not
Okay.
sure, because I have an assassination ability / advantage thing, so.
All right. double checking here. No, you do have it as a quick action ability. It wouldn't be induced. It's in your spectral shroud.
Oh, okay.
So that wouldn't be using your wild magic. That'd be using your seer magic instead. So you're not draining the same resource pool, but you still would be using your 2 AP.
That is fine. I will do that.
Okay. And then you'll want to mark that you have 2 fixation in use. One which is for the distractionary duplicate, and one that is for the invisibility. And I will mark your own one specifically as semi-transparent, and that will update that on there, and I will give you 2 fixation on your character display within the overlay. So that then will go through Elidon's full action points, and Oppenheimer still has 2 available currently. So with that, I will have the first of the 2 headless ones just figure out what they are going to do first. And starting off on their hex map, see which direction they're going to go for what they have available to them. And 4. That one is going to already in melee, so that is adjacent to melee. They're going to use all 4 of their AP for a slashing damage strike at Oppenheimer. And they have advantage on 1 die from it being their first attack attempt. So I'm going to roll 2 die, and this will be subtracted when Oppenheimer rolls for their essence statistic adversity check. So
Essence adversity. Can I use reflexes for this to give me advantages, or no?
you can, yes. If you've got the skill, you can use as many die as is appropriate.
Well, it's 3 dice in reflexes, which I don't think I can use any more than 2.
If you have any luck, you can. If you have any chance or fate, you can. You could technically with the Jinx, Curse, or Doom, but I wouldn't generally suggest it when you're in combat, unless you have a trait that gives you some use for it. That's why it's generally best to get rid of them as soon as you can. That said, I had a 7 and a 6, and with the advantage on 1 die, I rerolled the 6, and it gave me a different 7. So it's negative 14 on your check.
Negative 14. Dice, please work.
Don't fuck them up. Let's go, dice. I have faith in you.
8 and 8, 16.
Okay, so that'll give you a 2.
Let's see. Where is my luck? Oh, that's where I had that information. Not the time for that kind of question. Skills here. There we go. I have 1 chance, 1 fate, 4 luck. All right. So I'm currently at a 2. And okay, what happens if I don't add anything more versus using more dice?
Okay. Well, a 2. Here, I'm just pulling up your resolution ranges. That is a 2 would be a straight failure, so that would be a wound.
Okay.
If you can bump it up by at least 2, you would get a mark instead.
Which would still result in a wound for me, due to I have 2 mark.
Right. But it wouldn't be that you take a wound and then immediately would take a wound necessarily if you take another mark. Versus if you take the wound now, then you take a mark, you're for sure down to your last mark. To your last wound.
Got it. Right. So I'm going to spend a luck. Ooh, 6.
Okay.
That is max on the dice, which means I get a luck dice, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You can choose to use that if you'd like. That would potentially allow you to get it higher. However, at an 8, you would have to get it up to a 16 to avoid taking a mark entirely. At least right now you're taking a mark, or you can potentially get it to a success at cost and have the option to, instead of taking a mark, take it as an additional hit on your break chance with the log. That would only take another 2. It's just depending on which you want to risk. Because right now it is giving you a +1 on your... Oh, did you apply that?
But haven't... Oh, did I add the 3 for...
Yes.
I wasn't sure if that was 3 dice or if that was...
No,
just adding 3.
It's +3.
I didn't add that then. No.
Okay, so that would bump it up to an 11.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a success at cost. You can take the mark, or you can have it as another notch on your break tracker. So instead of taking 1, you take 2. It means that the log might break sooner, or something else you have might break sooner if you choose to do that.
I'll take the break chance for now.
Okay. So in your break current, you would put 2 in there.
Okay. Got it marked for 2 in the current break.
Okay.
Could I have done the counter or whatever, or I forgot I should have asked about that, but the attack already resolved. If it's assuming the other one attacks, I can do the counter attack to try and reduce their roll, right?
Potentially, yes. Right now, when you're only trying to reduce damage potentially, you're not using AP for that. But if you block something like you just did now, that would reduce you down to passive defense unless you spend another AP to bump it back on again. So you'd still have the +2, but not the +3 from active.
Got it. I'm just keeping them busy. Stabby McStab. Go get them.
Okay. So with that, you do still have 2 action points if you did want to use them, or you can wait to see whether or not you need to save them for when the other one is trying to attack.
I'm going to save them for the other one attacking me.
Okay. Alright, and then I will roll on what they're deciding to do. Will be excavation. They're going to try digging down right where they're at. So rather than carrying forward, the one that they were in the air headed toward seemed to move over toward Oppenheimer, and they're going to try digging right where you were previously standing, Dolkara.
Okay.
And they don't know that you are in that location at present. So, let me roll and see whether or not their attempt does anything. Nope, they're just going to start digging up the ground right in front of you at present. Not Dokar, Elidon. So yeah, in front of Elidon, they are now starting to dig. And less than 5 feet from you. They're practically right next to you, but have not noticed you yet. And
Okay.
as that is 2 AP, they're going to bank 2 for the time being. So that is the Headless ones in their first phase. So it comes back around to Elidon.
Oh. Oi. Is it fair to assume I definitely had weapons out, or did I need to claim that I had them out to begin with?
Considering the fact that you were leaving with the body previously and trying to keep it stable.
The horse was. My horse was doing that. I was not.
Right. What I'm saying is, collectively, your horse, Oppenheimer, and you were probably on edge enough that I would say that you probably would have them out.
Okay. Good.
Because if you thought it was perfectly safe, then you probably would have just simply carried them out when they fell. You wouldn't have, let the horse continue dragging.
Fair. So then I have the situational advantage of assassination. Advantage on first target attacked during combat if entity has the hidden invisible condition or has surprised their target. I am going to go out on a limb and say that is exactly what's going on with the one currently trying to dig.
I would say that is currently true, and I'm going to give them disadvantage on 1 dice, not only because you have advantage, but because they are presently distracted with something else. So how much it reduces from your check is going to be reduced further. So that changed it from a 11 down to a 2.
I'm killing something today, guys.
It does mean that I get 1 luck, though.
Fuck them. Anyway.
Such
What?
violence.
I know.
Okay, so it's only going to be
am-
-2, and you have advantage on the die. So
So is that 4d10?
it would be 40-10, and you take the 2 highest.
Okay. 4d10, take the 2 highest. And... Okay. Ooh. Ooh. So I got a 9 and an 8.
Okay, so that would be 17, which would drop it down to a 15. Did you have any 10s on any of the... oh, no.
No, I had...
Did you have
I
any
had, the other 2
1s?
were... No, the other 2 were 6 and a 7, so... it
Okay,
didn't
so
matter.
you don't gain any jinx, and you don't gain any luck. That would be a
Thank
success
God.
that'd be a success at cost. If you can bump it up by 1, you can deal a straight success, which would be a wound. Right now, it would be a mark.
Cool. How many luck die do I got?
1 second here. I actually have that from when I last posted that to you all.
Because I know for sure I have a lot more jinx die than I do luck die.
Yeah, that's
Don't
true.
worry, we got a pitching machine. You'll be fine.
Fucking hate
You
that
do
bitch
have
energy.
you do have 7 jinx, but you currently have 4 luck.
I'm gonna use 1 luck.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's a 2.
Okay, that is enough to deal a wound. So that is 1 wound to the Headless one, number 2.
Can you attack again, or did you just like burn all you got?
I don't know. I'm doing this by 1 move at a time, just so I understand what I'm doing.
Sure.
Okay. So, right now... Just double checking here. Okay. Were you using standard melee or offhand? That would be offhand, non-improvised, because they're daggers. You're not needing to use a lot of force to them.
Fair
So
enough.
that would be 2 AP, and that would be your phase. If you have to, you can draw from your next phase. You just can't draw more than 2 AP if something happens and you need to use it. Just letting you know that.
So if I use the next 2, or if I use the 2 from the next one, that means I don't have a turn next time.
You wouldn't have a phase next time that it comes around, no. You would use them if you have to draw them early as a reaction. You can't draw them early for something that's not a reaction to something that's happening. Like, you can't choose to, charge up a really heavy swing or take aim without it being something from your current phase's source point, action points. So for
Fair
right
enough.
now, you've done your phase, and then it would move on to Oppenheimer. Just making sure that you're aware that is an option if something does happen. Right now, it doesn't know where you're at, but it just was attacked. and it took a wound.
Fair.
So it could potentially lash out, considering the fact that you are technically within the same shared space.
Would movement cost me anything? Or is that...
It would.
What exactly would that cost me?
So, what your pace is, which I believe is 2, you would be able to move that many per action point that you spent. So, if, say, for example, you try to move as a reaction when it tries to attack, you could do that. As long as it doesn't hit you, you would complete the movement. If it does, then you'd end up prone from trying to move and it hitting you. So that is a potential risk, but that is a possibility. If you were in the air, however, then you wouldn't be prone unless it hit you, and seeing as it's on the ground, it'd have to know to attack upward. So there's a possibility that it might not figure where it got hit from.
Then I guess I will stay just to see if it knew where it got hit from. See
Okay.
how smart it is.
It's not a risk, it's a threat assessment.
It is. This is really
Well,
a threat
I mean-
assessment right now.
You are the Guild for Ruin Investigation and Management, and it's a lot of risk assessment in your job. Finding out if ruins need to be just, sealed off and send in the people who can make sure that it's properly disposed of, like a bomb team, or if it's something that's safe enough for people to become a tourist spot, or, other possibilities. So it is kind of your job.
And I just wanted to know if I could move around it, just to be tactical. That was the only reason.
Yeah, well, you might be able to when it comes your phase again, if it doesn't hit you, or if you don't have to use your, action point pulling ahead in order to get it. But with that said, we'll move on to Oppenheimer's phase.
Stage 1, I am going to active defense. 2
Okay.
since I didn't use those 2 AP before, I should be sitting at 5 AP, right?
You get 2 per phase.
But I
So
have
you
the
should be
thing that gives me an extra 1.
That's at the end of all of the normal phases.
Okay.
So those can carry over to the next round to start you off with more, or you can use them immediately after everybody else is done.
So, can I pick up a second thing to use as a shield?
You could grab the rock. That will give you another 1.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. That would be
then
1 AP
so
for
use
that.
active. So it's 1 AP there. Then use the action points to use defensive fighting again, and that should leave 1 remaining, right?
That should, yes. So you'll want to note down that you've got 1 left.
And then by my turn, I will have gained
2 more.
3, because then there'll be the 1 at the end of the phase, and then the 2 I get at the beginning of turn.
There's 4 phases. You're currently on the 2nd phase. So next phase you'd get 2, and you have 1 from your current one right now. So you'd have 3 next phase, because you're banking 1 of them.
Yep.
Okay.
So does that mean my active defense goes up by 1 more?
Yes, you would have another +1 on it, and your break maximum would go up by +1.
What is my break maximum?
It should be 3 currently, because you have your standard attire, the log, and the rock. At present, you
The
don't
break
have anything in
maximum.
addition.
My break maximum is my defense.
Your break maximum is your active defense.
Okay.
At present. If you lost the item, then it would reduce.
Okay.
It's basically what you have available that can potentially break in the process of protecting you, or damage from like a misfire on a gun or something else to that effect.
And the break chance. Oh, go ahead.
Certain things will say that they have disadvantage or advantage on the check, or a increase to it. But if it doesn't say that, then it just would be the 1 or nothing. If it doesn't give you durability.
Okay. So the 2 break chance right now on it. When that hits 4, I would lose 1 thing.
When that hits, currently 3 with the rock, the log, and your attire, it would roll to see if it reduces in size or stays the same. If it rolls a 1, something breaks and the die decreases in size. If it doesn't roll a 1, you remove 1 from the break tracker. When you have a chance to repair or replace an item, then you can reduce it further. But it's basically that it didn't break, so it doesn't constantly stay at maximum if you don't continue to get hit.
And that break check uses what dice? Because I do not have that currently listed.
Should be, I believe. 1 second here. Okay, yeah, no, I see your sheet does not. I believe we set that to be a D10.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, yeah, we didn't set it, but we'll do it as a D10. I will note that to the group chat.
Cool.
And that'll also be the same size for your expend. And if it decreased, it would decrease to a D8, a D6, a D4, and then a D2. If it's a D2 and something continues to break, it's a flip of the coin every single time when you hit the maximum if something's going to break or not. So it's important to repair or replace items when it gets that low.
Okay, so knowing there is probably going to be a break, I would roll a D10, and if the result is 1, it diminishes in size?
Correct. So then it would become a D8. And then clear your break tracker.
Cool. Think I understand it enough to go through a defensive round again. So, here's to hoping.
Okay. And all right. I see I didn't roll the group boost on the strafe with the headless one, but I just rolled it and it would have ended up as a 2, which would not have been enough to make a difference. So, I do need to remember to do that this time, because there are 2 of them within 6 movement spaces, so they get a plus 1d4 per additional one of them. So I will keep that in mind going forward. You are banking 1 AP, and we are back to Headless one number 1. And let's roll what they are going to do. They are also going to start digging near right where Oppenheimer and the duplicate are. They can see them, but at present they are trying to dig away at the space where you're standing. And let's see how well that they do on that. It's 11. Okay. Go ahead and make a traversal attribute trial check, Oppenheimer. And that will be a minus 11 on that. You can use balance if you have that to help, because they're trying to make you fall over.
So reflexes sounds like would help.
Reflexes would help if you also spend the AP to move. The reflexes could potentially help if you try to land on top of them, because the space where you're standing, they are trying to dig out enough that landing back in the exact same spot wouldn't help as much. You would be lower down if that happens.
Yeah. What would happen if I landed on top of them?
If you land on top of them, they would definitely know that you're present. They may potentially try to attack you on their next phase. As is, they don't have any AP available to be able to do anything.
I was just wondering because I do have a grappling skill.
Well, you could on your next phase try to grapple them. You would do a capture action.
Okay. So, if I move to the side now, I could then grapple later and use them as a human shield. A very wriggly one, but a human shield.
You could potentially try to do that. If you try to do a capture action on them as is, you could try to keep them in place, or to knock them into the hole, or other different things with them with that.
Well, my thought process was, if I can get a hold of them and use them as a human shield, I can use them to kill each other.
You could potentially try to. The one thing is that they do have that group attribute boost, the D4, from being within range of each other. So they do know that each other are present. So it's not like grabbing 2 that are invisible or that are swirling around, who are just flailing. Or if they're using a ranged attack on you, and then you use them to intercept it. Right now, as far as you have seen, they haven't yet tried anything that would be a ranged attack. They with their musculature being the way that it is, they probably could pick something up and try to throw it. You just haven't seen them try.
So they're not sure where we are.
They're not sure where Elidon is. They tried just now digging underneath you and one of Elidon's duplicates.
I'll just use reflexes, move off to the side, not on top of them, because, like you said, they don't know where I am. Or
Well, they know where you are, but right now, what they were trying to do was dig underneath you enough that you'd fall either on your back or on your side or your belly. You'd go prone, and they, are trying to make it more advantageous to attack versus attacking you while you're still standing.
okay, so then I'm just going to reflexes and hop to the side.
Okay.
So
Do you
that
want to go
is
to the south or to the northwest? There is a rock if you went southwest.
I want
that
to
you'd
move
have to
toward
go
the
up.
rock.
Do you want to go onto the rock? That would put you 5 feet higher than the normal ground, and since they're digging down, you'd be about 7 feet above them.
Yeah, let's go a little higher. I know they can fly, but
Well, I
this
mean,
they
the first one that
target me.
attacked wasn't flying. They leaped through the air.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to treat this like Tremors and just jump up with a 1, 8, 5, 10, so 18.
Okay, and you'll gain 1 luck and 1 jinx.
I believe that you said it was minus 11.
Yes.
So that'd be a 7, and 7 is a failure with cost, right?
If you choose not to use anything else, yes.
What would happen with failure with cost here?
Well, you are trying to get away. So instead of getting up onto the rock, what would happen instead would be you'd probably fall prone next to the rock and take a mark, or you might drop the rock or log.
In that case, I'm definitely using luck, so that is another 5. So 7, 5, 12. That would be success with cost, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to do a really awkward drunk scramble up the rocks.
Okay. Do you think you would drop the rock or log in getting up, or would you take a mark?
Well, the question is, with me having the high ground, do I have a defensive advantage?
You would force them to have to make a check to get up to you or to throw something at you. They could not directly melee attack you from the height difference.
Okay.
Because right now their hands only have dirt. They don't have anything else in their hand. So they have to spend an AP to grab something if they're going to use it against you.
I'll drop the rock.
Okay. So then
I want to avoid marks as much as I can.
It's understandable. So you'll want to lower your maximum active defense and maximum break by 1.
Yep,
So you're
back
back down
to
2. Yes.
Yeah, back down to 3.
Back to 3 instead of 4.
And then I can use my defensive reactive strike thing to kick them down so they can't get to me, correct?
You can, yes.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
So, all right, and that will go to the second one, which was not able to Elidon, and they are going to bank their 2 action points as they are looking around but not spotting Elidon at present. They're more or less gearing up for the possibility of attacking or defending without a clue where to lash out to yet. So that gives them 4 AP to work with, and it'll become 6 AP on the next phase. So they have some possibilities of what to use. And we move on to the third phase with Elidon to start.
Ooh. So they still don't see me. I have no clue where I'm at. And they're digging. That's fun. I still get advantage, right?
I believe that you still would.
For the assassination, since I am still invisible.
Check. Let's see. That
Oh, could I have
was-
drawn my knife as part of my turn of stuff, or because
you could, as soon as you got onto the rock, since you dropped onto the boulder, since you dropped the rock. Yeah, you can use a single AP to do that.
Perfect.
And that would also bump you up +1 with the active defense potentially. It's just that if you use it, it might break.
That's fine.
So specifically with Silent Blade, which is what you're asking about, Wolfie, it's a situation attack advantage on the first target attacked during combat if you have the hidden, invisible, or surprise on them. So you wouldn't get another die on that. However, right now they have disadvantage on 1 die from the fact that they don't know where you're at for trying to defend against it. So while you don't have as much of an advantage as your last one, they still can't defend as well as they normally might.
Okay. Then I guess I'm stabbing the one I stabbed before, which I'm guessing was number 2. Since that was
Yes.
the one in front of me.
Yes, that it would be number 2. I'm going to roll up that, and that went from a 2 and a 9 to a 2 and a 1. So I'm going to gain another jinx.
So then, how much am I losing?
You're losing 3.
3. Gotcha. That's a 6.
Okay.
And a 5. So.
You have luck.
I do. I have 3 more luck.
And not just luck. You also have the other 2, right?
Yes. Did you say that was a 6 and a 5?
Yes, I rolled a 6 and a 5. But
okay, so that would be
the higher number.
Okay, but it was 2d10.
Yes.
So you still would have 11.
Oh, okay. So that's an 11.
11 minus the 3, that's an 8. So, success at cost could still deal them a mark if you can bump it up 2 points.
Use
If you can bump it all the way up to 16, you can deal a second wound.
I will use 2 of my luck.
Okay.
Ah, well, that's a 2 and a 3.
Okay, so that's 5. That still means that you can deal a mark to them.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Oh! Wait, never mind. That'll be next one. Because I have venom on me. I know I secrete venom, but I don't know if I would have been able to put that on any of my daggers at any point, so that's fair.
Well, you previously had specifically created some for that bomb that went off in the first session. So you do know to regularly be using it. Just like with the absorbing the wild magic, I will give the fact that you probably would do it regularly to go ahead and say that you could have used it. So that would bleeding condition plus toxicity condition domain material. The mark wouldn't give either condition, but potentially the bleeding and toxicity condition from the wound, because that was a full enough actual hit. So let me see here real quick. Check. Because that'll only go for a single phase with a rank 1 on that. But single rank 1 will still deal a additional wound as long as I double check that that's how it is. One wound per round per rank of the condition. So they would gain an additional wound, but they wouldn't be able to gain a second one in the same round for bleeding condition. So that would actually give them a second wound, which makes them in desperation mode. And toxicity condition. Forgot to put a space there. And toxin does rank the condition, shows how strongly it's applied and how difficult to remove or heal from. Re-rank of the condition, target number to remove the condition increases by the maximum curse die value. So if it was to continue past the 1 round, then its attempt to stop the bleeding condition, like cauterizing the wound or bandaging it, would have more difficulty trying to stop it from the toxicity condition. I was just double checking how the two interacted, whether or not that would give a final wound to it or not. But since it's only lasting the 1 round, it wouldn't affect it in that particular regard. It will when you rank that up higher, though. so that's something to practice. But it is on 2 wounds and 1 mark. So it is certainly not happy at present.
I will continue to stay where I'm at, since they still have no clue where I am at.
Well, you have attacked twice from the same spot, so I will say that they're not going to have the disadvantage to try finding you next time.
I mean, moving might not be a bad idea.
If you...
I mean... Yeah, but I can't fly. That's my problem, is because if I fly, my wings will make the noise. And I'm trying not to make too much noise.
Well, you could try... You could try walking, or, something else to that effect. However, there's the possibility of making noise in the attempt. Having the AP to pull as a reaction to move when they try to attack, at least would you get you to a different location if they actually do come close to hitting you. As long as they don't actually put you down.
Would I be able to sneak?
Sneak would help if you want to use that. However, with your offhand, you used your 2 AP on that. So you'd have to potentially use that on your next phase, or on the reaction itself. You wouldn't be able to use it until you need to move.
Okay, then I will wait till I need to move, and then I will sneak to the tile that's, I'm guessing, in the roots of the tree.
Okay. Alright, that will take it to Oppenheimer. Phase 3.
Step 1, defensive fighting.
Okay.
I have currently 1 fixation, right?
Currently, yes.
Could I induce an ability that makes the rock harder to climb?
You could do that. That would be a transmutation interface, which would give them a disadvantage on their traversal.
And my goal is to give them disadvantage on attack rolls in particular, because they can't get a solid grip in order to come up and get me.
Well, they would have to climb to get to you for a melee attack right now. They could potentially try to attack you with something from the ground. You did drop that rock, so they could pick that up and throw it, so it wouldn't help in that regard.
No, I know that I can't do a ton about the things throwing, but I want to avoid the slams, the bites, the stuff like that.
I think that's probably a good idea, especially seeing as you'd seen the results of their venom before. So
yeah. So if I can, I'd like to induce the "Don't touch me, I'm scared." So, do I have to roll for the inducing?
So you would roll your interaction attribute trial check, and since you're using the induce, you would roll 1 die at advantage, since you have a skill in that.
Yeah, and then...
And right now they can't roll any to reduce you because they're not taking an action on your attempt. If they chose to, use a reaction to try and stop you, then they could do something. But seeing as they don't know what you're
doing, also throw on a survivalism for a backup skill to, representing the how do you survive in the wild when things are trying to eat you.
I think you probably would more want to use your block or dodge.
Okay.
Your
I didn't think they would
survivalism
apply.
is, well, it would more apply if they tried to attack you. Like if you have your dodge available with your active defense, then that would help if they threw something at you.
Okay. Okay, I see. So I'm going to use reflexes then, which would get me what I need. Yeah. I didn't drop a dice. There's no proof.
Everybody, clip that.
Come
If I
on,
knew how to do it
flashlight.
on YouTube, I would, but I don't.
It's until everything is, completed with a live stream, it wouldn't be. But not really a massive amount of followers who would go ahead and do that anyways. So, not a big deal.
Oh man, oh, there it is. Okay, I was about to say the basement ate my dice. Okay. Now we're gonna find out how bad I make this. Ooh. 2, 3, 8, 10.
Okay, so you get one luck. Eight, 10. So that would be 18, which would count as a straight success. So you're going to give them a die of disadvantage to attempt to come up toward you.
Yep. Oh, as far as domain density.
Okay. And anything else that you are doing on your phase?
I did the defensive action. I made it. I induced wild magic 2.
And you took out your
So,
knife.
yep. Well, I took out my knife during the reactionary moment, but yeah, I did take out my knife. I think it's everything I can do.
Yep. Just making sure if you're needing to pull something from further forward or not, as planned.
I'm going to save the pull forward for taking the stick and bopping them back down.
Okay. We will be entering in your last phase, so your extra action point will become available at the start of this next one, when it gets back around to you.
Okay. So I can't do any push them back down this round, or this rotation.
No, you would have it available if they do attack. You just can't use it until it starts if it's not a reaction. So, for example, if you wanted to pick up a second item, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Okay.
Even if you had a hand free, which you have both something in it right now. So.
Yep.
Okay. Then we're going to see what they're going to do. And let's see. That is, one is going to move. Take 1 AP. They're going to pick up the rock that's in front of them. They're going to move 2 spaces over. So it actually works. So they are essentially by the roots of the tree, since they were partially into actually, no, with them excavating, that was just to deal with the distractionary duplicate. So yeah, they're moving over 2 spaces away and have picked up the rock. So that's used their 2 AP for the first of the 2 headless ones. And the second one has 6 AP. So they are going to move 1, and they can move another 1 movement space afterward, because they can move 2 in a single one, and use an attack on the duplicate since they see it there. And let's see how their attack goes. And they have the plus D4 because their ally is still within 6 movement spaces. So that comes to 14. If you would please roll a 2d10 Wolfie. This is for if your duplicate manages to make it look like they missed or not. Otherwise, if they choose not to do anything, then I will be rolling another 2d10 to see how much damage they would have potentially done and know immediately that the duplicate is not real.
I need to roll something so that they can...
You can either drop the fixation and they'll immediately know that it's not real, or you can roll 2d10 that you're having it fake that it's trying to block. So if it, or dodge, etc. So it's a matter of if you're keeping up the fixation and making it a harder check for them.
I'm going to keep up the fixation.
Okay.
So, rolling 2d10. That is a 5 and a 3.
Okay, so that's 8 minus 14. Take it down to -4, which is failure and cost. So they immediately know that it is not there, and they still have 2 AP left and 1 space movement. So they are going to move. I'm going to say they're going to move over toward the space that has the rock here and pick that up and bank 1 AP.
Yeah, that one's not.
And
they realize that that is not me.
you can still maintain it, or you can have it fade and free up your fixation.
Well, they already know, so I'm gonna have it fade.
Okay. So just move that off of there. And log should be with Oppenheimer, but it was underneath, so there we go. And I will update you on the display to not be using 2 fixation anymore. There we go. Alright, it is Elidon, final phase.
Stabby stab.
Right. So they did not try to hurt me personally?
Well, they had tried attacking, digging underneath where you were before and got attacked, and then tried figuring it out by just looking around and didn't see anything obvious. So they went toward the next closest entity that they saw, which was your duplicate. And then they moved and picked up a rock. So it's like, okay, now they have something to either defend or throw. And they can definitely see Oppenheimer still, and your duplicate has now vanished, so, you know.
Got it. Yeah, I'm gonna stabby McStab the one that's still in front of me. I'm guessing number 2 still.
Okay.
I
Still
don't
adjacent,
have an
so...
advantage.
No, you do not, but it does have a disadvantage on one of its die because it moved and you were still in the same location, but it is no longer where it was actively looking for you. It made an assumption that the illusionary duplicate had attacked it, and it guessed wrong. So... Well, rolling the 3d10, it was a 1, a 6, and then the reroll of the 6 was a 10. But I don't get that, so I have -7. But I take 1 jinx and 1 luck.
So I have -7 for my next roll.
You do indeed, yes.
Yep. Ooh, great! That's also a 10 and a 1.
Okay.
Just keep rolling the luck over and over and over until you have
I
like
know.
a 35.
I'm up to 1 luck, so that means I have 2 luck again. Oh, damn it. And more jinx. God, I'm like, what, at 8 jinx now?
Don't worry, Bitch Machine will fix all your problems.
I fucking hate that.
Well, you do have some available if you'd like to boost it up. But yeah, you would be at failure but bonus. If you are...
I will use my 2 luck.
Okay.
Yay! I got another luck. That's a 5 and a 6.
Okay, so that would plus 11 from the 4, so that bump it up to 15. So that's a success at cost. You could bump it up to a straight success if you get even 1 point, which you could use your 1 luck on. That would deal a wound, which would kill off that
Finally
headless
kill that
one.
thing. I'm gonna use my last luck. Let's go.
Okay.
Bring me a 6, damn it. Nope, gave me a 1.
I mean,
I'm out of luck, but I
anyway?
have more jinx to go for it. Let's go.
Well, you only needed the 1 in order to kill it, instead of dealing a mark, so that's still good, since you bumped it off. So with that, we're going to take 2 off of the map. Alright, and it drops the rock right where it was. Its grip is not going to clench down on it with being attacked how it was. One second here. Yeah, that won't affect anything. Alright, then that would be going to Oppenheimer, I believe. You don't have any extra action points, correct?
Me? No.
Okay. I knew that Oppenheimer and Tin Man had it, but I was pretty sure you didn't, so. Alright. Yeah, it wouldn't have been able to use its desperation die because it didn't know where the attack was coming from. which is something I need to make sure I have on the details with that. That Desperation Day can only be used if you are aware of what you're using it on. I think that should be important. Right, Oppenheimer. It is your final phase, so you get +3 APD news.
Being defensive is 1 point, right?
To reactivate your active defense, yes, but you activated it earlier and did not get attacked.
Okay.
So that's still active currently. It
Because
will
what I
end.
kind of want to do is throw a grenade, but if I do that, that breaks the defense, and I'm also not sure the action economy on that.
So it wouldn't break the defense, but it would mean that you have to drop an item to have a free hand to do so, which that would lower your defense because of not having 2 items available.
What are the stats on a grenade? Is it worth the... Let's see, inventory. We scroll up. My unstable crystal. Jewel grenade, here we are. Yeah, so the way that works, weapon is less modular, +2 advantage to respect, and then weapon enthusiast. Ammo is a bulky crystal. Loading a ballistic, +1 domain control. Okay, so how would it... Do I have enough actions to throw their and then activate active defense?
Well, currently you have 3, so you would need to stow or drop an item, which would be 1, and then you'd have to pull out 1, and then you can chuck it, which would be 1 action, or you could have it in hand and save the 1 action for next round. If you chuck it, there is the chance of it going into a random deviation of the general direction, versus if you do it as an actual attack. Doing it as an actual attack would take 4 AP, but you can guarantee that if you can hit the range, you get it to that spot.
Okay. So I can, in theory, do the grenade attack and defense as long as I drop something or stow.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm going to stow my knife and huck a grenade.
Okay. So with that, you're going to roll a d6, and this will determine the general direction as far as how much it deviates off from that.
I got a 5.
Okay. So that will be, it's in the correct general direction, and then roll another d6 in terms of how far distance-wise that it gets toward its target.
Another 5.
Okay. That is general direction and reaches movement space range, so you are landing it right where it's at.
Okay.
That's as good as you can get with a chuck.
Yep. And I will be activating the full defense, and when I get the points, I might just draw the knife as during the turn. Otherwise, I'll wait till next turn to redraw knife and get 4-8 defense to 3.
Okay. Oh, question. Are you using the one, your last AP, because the active defense would be next round that you're reactivating it, unless you chose to use it immediately. If you
I chose to
activate
use it like words.
I'm sorry, what?
My understanding was I threw the grenade and then went back to active defense.
Right. What I'm saying is do you want to do the active defense before it gets to your turn and use the AP on that? Because you have the 1 AP left. Or if you use the activation, you would get +1 on the grenade. Because you have, it's just the jewel grenade without something loaded in.
I thought there was something loaded in.
Okay, 1 second. Let me double check. I think that you had them specifically not immediately loaded so that they wouldn't go off without you putting them in. I mean, they'll still work as a regular grenade. It's just a matter of
I thought it was loaded, but should that not be the case, that's fine. Like, I am destroying a Foki crystal to do this, which would lower my total Foki pool, but...
True. I think that would actually make sense for you. Yeah, we don't have it said whether or not you were doing that or not. So
and it does make sense. I would have it loaded up, ready to go.
I think, yeah, you would probably have at least one loaded up because you're crazy enough to do that with your, general use of explosives.
That's sanity and rationality.
Well, in this case, it's preparedness rather than paranoia, but I think you probably wouldn't have all of them loaded up, that you load up at least one each time that you go out, just in case, and know which one is the one that's loaded. So.
Okay.
Alright, so.
Tick, tick, boom.
That still would be activating it, versus it being just bashing. However...
well, it definitely needs to be activated.
Right. Well, either way, activating it gives a bonus, but let's see. Unstable Foki. That would be stone, and any entity within 1 movement space of where it breaks. There's nobody else there, so nobody's going to take a additional hit off of that. And volatility and instability. Just double checking to see if that is going to attack it even more.
The whole point of this kind of grenade is to put something unstable in it, blow it up, and take advantage of what happens when unstable things go bang. So...
Okay, so yep, that is the specific thing that happens when it goes off. Double checking, that is Foki. So it's a Foki blowback that will happen back below.
I imagine L just sees me throw something and goes, "Oh no."
I mean, I just killed one and was doing a little happy dance and to themselves, and then looked over and opened it. Like, fuck.
Okay. So that would be Foki Magic Blowback, a fracture of the Foki, which would release the charge that is currently within it and destroy it. I believe that your charge on that was 4. Double checking. Charge 2 each. Okay. Not 4. That was 2 each. So that would give you a +3 on your attack. So go ahead and roll your strafe attribute trial check.
And that's going to be using accuracy, I assume.
You would be able to use your... Yeah, you would be able to use your...
Okay. Okay.
Skill on that.
1, 3, 9, 10.
Okay. So Oppenheimer will get +1 Jinx and +1 Luck.
So, Jinx and Luck. Is there any, like, reductions to it? So, 19 plus 3. Or no, plus 2. So, 21.
No, it would be... You activated it, so it would be +3.
Oh,
There's
plus 3,
the 2,
yep.
2 from the fracture, +1 from activating it. So you had 19 plus 22, and then for their reduction for trying to prevent taking a wound, they had 5 was the result of their 1. So Arbiter gains 1 more Jinx.
And down to 17.
And 17 would put you at a straight success. So they are absolutely going to take a wound from that.
Okay.
And one moment. Because it affects the neighboring spaces, there is a rock and some roots and such. It's not far enough to knock over the tree, but it might potentially have the rock go off. So I'm going to roll a d8 to see which direction that it goes. 1 goes down into the ground from the force. 8, it goes up and away. And otherwise it's going to go off in a different direction based off of the explosion and bouncing off of things. 8, it goes straight up. And let's see whether or not it lands on top of it. Nope, lands back in the exact same space, just in a different spot.
So how did I kill my enemy? I hit him with a rock.
You nearly did. You nearly dealt the second wound to it, but it did not. So, it still took a wound from that, and that used up one of your jewel grenades and unstable Foki crystals.
Yep.
And that would take it to its next phase. It no longer has its ally present to be able to use them for the bonus D4. Well, they are going to bank. Well, they can't bank because it's the end of the round. They have the rock. They can chuck it. and pick up the rock that's adjacent to them. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to try chucking it over at Oppenheimer since they can't see Elidon. And that's going to use 1 AP for that, and then another AP to pick up the rock afterward. So let's see first if they get it in the general direction or not. 1 second. And that is moderate left. And falls 2 movement spaces short of range. So their attempt to do that fails.
Is there any training that we can do to do better tossing?
Well, if you use an actual attack action, you can get it to the specific spot where you can hit it in range. When you chuck it, you're basically trying to do it very quickly, so you're not really in control of it as much.
Okay.
If you'll give me 1 moment, I'm going to mute and shut my window because somebody is smoking pot and it is coming in through my window.
So how's this fight going, you think?
You know, it be going.
It's going a lot better than I imagined.
Right? I haven't gotten hit, so this is great.
Alright, usually they don't start that until later in the day, so it wouldn't have interrupted, but that's just an annoyance. Okay, so yeah, with their last AP, they're going to pick back up the rock that they failed to throw properly, so they have at least something for a +1 to their defense and possibility to throw it again. That will use up their last phase. So we'll be going to a new round. And start with Elidon. And you will have 2 AP to use.
Okay. Well, that fucker is further away from me.
He's still within 2 squares, so you could spend 1 to get over there.
Yeah, but then I can't stab him.
Well, you could pick up the rock next to you and throw it, or you could throw your knife.
Wait. Do I still have the mini neurotoxin thingy, the bomb from the first one, the very first session?
No, that was used.
I made 2 that day. No, I made 2
No, we
that
made
day.
2 of them.
Yes.
We had 1 that was
I
for big critters, 1 for small.
Yes, but you didn't keep it with you specifically. You had taken it in case you needed it. The one that you used for big critters was used. This definitely, I would say, qualifies as a big critter. I'll say you could have it with.
Still works.
Yeah, it's just that it would have advantage to try and resist it, is all. Because it's not designed for its size.
I just wanted to get the poison on it. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, I'll say you could try that. It's a possibility.
Would it be better if just like, I don't know, lick your blade or something to get your venom straight from yourself?
I mean, I could.
It would be stronger than the one we mixed up for small critters.
True. Still have to get close enough to do anything. Unless, is licking the weapon gonna cost me anything, or is that just like a free action?
Well, I'd say that that's basically a reload action. object manipulation. Either one, it's 1 AP either way. So you'd still have one.
Envenom it and throw it?
I mean, you could. You could
that's
chuck it
the plan.
and see if you can get it close. Or you could envenom it and save the AP in case you need to use it. You would at least prepare it.
I'm gonna put the venom on there, and then I'm gonna sneakily move up to the spot next to where the thing is.
Where the rock is by the roots?
No. Because from what I'm seeing on the map, there's one hex in between me and it, so I was gonna go to the hex between me and it.
Oh, you're only moving one forward?
Yeah, only one forward.
Okay, you can move two because you have a pace of 2.
Could you move one and then save your second step for, like, stepping out the way or something?
It would have to be within the same phase. So in that particular case, you could potentially save it. It's just a matter of you'd lose it if you don't. Like if it doesn't attack you, you just simply don't gain that extra space to move on your next phase.
If I move up the one, am I still able to stab it? Or...
You'd be able to on your next one if you're envenoming right now. You can still stab it.
I'm gonna venom up my weapon and then move up one space.
Okay, so that would use your.
It still has no clue where I'm at, so we're good.
Right, that would use your 2 AP for this phase, and the next phase you'd have 2, and you could use the 2 to offhand attack with it.
That's fine. I can
Okay.
do that.
So then I'm going to move you down the hex. And currently, neither it nor Oppenheimer knows exactly where you are.
I'm used to that.
And it is your phase.
Draw knife, defensive fight. That's 2. And that'd be the 2 I would gain. And then I would have 1 remaining, right?
Currently, yes.
And then at the end of my phase, I would get a second one, which I could then use either to knock people off my rock and play King of the Hill, or have even more points for next turn to do an aggressive action and defend. Right?
Potentially, yes. You can only carry however many extra points that you have from round to round. So, for example, if at the end of the round on your final phase you still had 2 AP, you'd only be able to carry over the 1. So, just wanted to make sure you're aware of that if it goes to another full round.
Okay, so next round I would have 3 AP, because I would have 1 for my bonus AP, and then 2 because I get 2 every turn.
2 every phase, yes.
Okay. So, defensive, King of the Hill. It is what it is. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. It is going to... It is going to try moving with the rock that it has and go down 1 and to side 1 over here. So it's near that tree instead. If it continues to move away, it may potentially leave The area, you do not know if there are more of them or not. However, you can clearly see that it is at least moving to put some distance from where Oppenheimer is. And it's going to try a check again, since it's standing where there's another rock. So it can replace it next phase if it needs to. Moderately left, and reaches the movement range. So it would be a potential graze. So the most it can do would be a mark, rather than a full hit.
I do have the +4 total to my active defense.
Right, and I've rolled a 9 and an 8, so that's minus 17 plus 4, that makes it minus 13 from you rolling a essence.
Got it. So I got to
Statistic
roll the
adversity.
defense again.
Yeah.
Okay. 4, 5, 6, 9. So 15. 15 minus 11, right?
Yes. So that would be 4.
4. And I need to make...
It's a failure plus bonus. So as I said, the most it can do is a mark to you, because it's not a direct hit. It's moderately to the left. There isn't really much of a spread on it in terms of how far that goes in this particular case, but it's not going to be able to do a full wound.
I mean, if it gives me a mark, I'm getting a wound anyways.
Well, true, but it's not giving you a full wound and a mark if
Yeah.
it had, hit.
So I guess I'll save the luck for when it's really needed and just take the mark and get the wound.
Okay. Well, in that particular case, it could be that the rock stays on the boulder with you, or it could be something else that's to your advantageous position. I'm not entirely certain what you might think otherwise would apply.
It hits me solid in the chest and then just falls to my feet.
Okay. So you've got a rock available for you, and it currently has nothing in its hands, and that is end of its go for this phase. So it goes back to Elidon. So update Oppenheimer to third mark, which becomes a wound.
I mean, if it's running away, we just have to get through a couple squares.
It's better to kill it so that way it doesn't reproduce.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. I just don't have the weapons to do that.
Fair. That's why Elidon's like, nah, man, I'm on the pursuit. I'm on the hunt.
Well, technically I do, as long as I work my points correctly.
Yeah, I said, fuck all the points, apparently. I just said, I'm going for it. Damn.
Well, I mean, you can throw the log and, potentially hit it with that. Or your knife.
Or me. You can definitely hit me.
It's okay.
Depends on how far the check goes. He's got two items
in his... next to him, I'll hand you a live grenade. I just need you to stand there real quick for a little bit.
I mean, as I was about to say, you do have 2 items in 2 hands, so you could do the check action twice, and then pull out a grenade just in case.
You definitely could. I'm on it. I'm just gonna go stab with venom.
Go stab, stab.
I'm gonna go stab, stab. It is my turn, correct? I'm just making sure.
It is your phase, yes. It is currently 3 movement spaces from you.
It can try.
New way, actually. At least based on the map I'm looking at.
Well, it's in the 3rd movement space. He can be
Oh,
adjacent
okay.
in 2, but yeah, it's he can attack from an adjacent space, but it is currently 3 away.
Okay.
So Stabby McStabby here. Fuck me if that's a 3 and a 5. Unless I get any advantages on this man.
I mean, it doesn't know where you are. That could be an advantage.
Well, you're using 1 AP to move up to it, I take it.
I thought I already did that on my last phase.
It moved last phase. That's why I was saying that it's currently 3 movement spaces away.
Either I'm behind on YouTube or you just didn't move me, but I thought I moved up 1 at least.
You had moved 1. It moved before it threw the rock it held. So you're
Do you
yellow,
run attacks of
so my
opportunity?
translation.
Do I? I don't know. Do I? I don't know. I'm learning this all at once.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. If there's attacks of opportunity, it moved away from you.
There are, if he has some from a reaction to pull. One moment here. Let me double check how much that is, because I thought that he just chose not to use it. Let me see here.
I'm trying to help.
No, because
that's
if it's
a
just
good
gonna
point.
keep running, my next idea was just to throw up another illusionary duplicate of mine in front of him. To see if it would at least rethink about running.
Or at least slow it down and make it replan its escape.
Yeah.
Okay. Opportunity attack. When an entity has another entity, item, or object first enters or leaves their melee range within a round, they may expend 4 action points to make a standard melee weapon attack action as an opportunity attack reaction, or alternatively use a freeform ability or templated ability that uses 2 or fewer source points. So you wouldn't be able to use your blade for that, but you could use an induced ability to potentially fling your venom off of it at the wound that already exists, or something else using one of the domains that you have.
Induced ability spit?
I mean... Because now I should be able to use 2 more AP. I don't remember now if I have it or not.
Well, you would be able to on this. If you pull from it to have used on the opportunity attack, you could use 2 source points to induce the ability as a free action, or a quick action pulling both AP to do a single source point instead of 2. Either way, you could potentially use that for the opportunity attack.
makes me think of induced abilities like Desperate Throw or stuff like that. I'm trying to think of ways to get the venom over there.
I mean, you could, like I said, do a spit. Do it as a strike induced ability using the toxicity domain, and just it wouldn't give it the toxicity condition or bleeding condition, but it could still potentially wound it.
I really think having the illusionary duplicate up would make it helpful to at least stop it.
Yeah.
It could potentially, if you choose to put that back up again and not have used the opportunity attack. You have the AP to be able to do it right now if you choose to do that.
I
and
might
to have
as well.
skipped the opportunity attack.
I'm gonna just, yeah, I'll skip my turn and just not do much. I won't do the opportunity attack. I'll just illusionary duplicate right in front of him.
Okay. So it's going to be placed right here, right adjacent to it in the direction that it was running. And that would use your AP for that phase. I'm going to... It is going to try to capture, not recognizing what is going on here. As it tries to capture and would be a straight success to grapple if it was able, it now realizes that it is not real. However, it has used its 2 AP for that, and thus wasted its phase. Make sure to mark off the source points that you used for that. And I would be adding your fixation, but I'm guessing you're going to drop it again, or are you going to keep up the illusionary duplicate?
This time I'm actually going to keep it up, and if possible, have it taunt him.
Okay. Put that back on there. Just trying to reposition it, and I accidentally hit delete. Okay. So yeah, you can use the taunt when it comes back around to your phase. And that would be 2 AP to do that, which would try to force it to attack again. Yeah, and it would have disadvantage for any action that is not specifically attacking it if you can get it to take a fixation. So that takes it to Oppenheimer.
Which I would like to do is drop things and stuff in their respective places. Unsling my rifle or shotgun, whichever is better, because I'm not sure how big these squares are, or these spaces.
They're 5 feet in diameter.
Okay, so this is definitely a shotgun situation then.
Yeah, I would say that that's probably easier.
So, unslingshotty, and I'm gonna take a shot, and then use a shotgun defensively.
Okay.
Breach loading, 12 gauge, 2 shots. Plus direct. Okay. Do I get any bonuses from the shotgun, or?
1 second, I'm double checking your shotgun details. I believe it's the fact that you can get the range as your and spread is your main important thing.
Then okay. That is 2, 3, 5, 9. So 14.
Okay. Were you using the mundane slug, spread shot, rock salt, or unstable folky?
Unstable folky. I am a mad lad who uses dangerous things.
Okay, that will make a difference when it hits. So 14, it is going to roll to reduce.
I'm just waiting to find out how much luck I need to use.
That is a 14. 1 luck for the Arbiter. And if I'm not mistaken, that's what you had for the roll, wasn't it?
I had 14, yes. So I'm
So
going to
that
need to
take it to 0.
luck.
Yeah. So that would take it to
Okay.
a 0, which would be a straight failure. You can use luck, chance, or fate. Depends
I'm
on
going
how
to
much you want
spend
to.
3 luck.
Okay.
And that is a 10. 2, 3, 5.
Okay, that is a success at cost. So it's going to take a wound, no matter what, from the shot. And you're going to have a cost happen with that. Let's see here real quick in terms of the unstable folky is going off. There's a rock where it's at. That's a 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to go off toward the southwest as it ricochets with the explosion. It's taken a massive wound in its side, and then you have a cost to deal with. You have to add 1 to your expend because you're using ammunition.
Yep.
I will say add 1 to your break. Is a dirty load as far as possibility of increasing a break chance.
Okay, so I currently have 3 break. I have 1 base defense, 1 from my ability, and then does my King of the Hill affect the defense?
No, but it does affect positioning for being able to try and attack you.
Okay, so that would be 3 active defense, counting using the shotgun as a defensive thing.
Okay.
So I'm 3 out of 3.
You're 3 out of 3. Roll the d10.
Okay. 6.
Okay. Reduce it down to 2.
Okay.
So you have 2 out of 3 for your break tracker currently.
Okay. Cool.
All right. And your die size does not decrease, so you still have the same odds, for that. Right. And as the unstable Foki dealt with the rock, it's also adjacent to the tree. So let me roll to see whether or not the tree was damaged enough for it to fall or not. That is only a 6 on it trying to defend, so that is a failure, but bonus. It's not going to fully fall over. There's still going to be a stump that will be able to regrow. Let's see. 6 directions here. 1, 2. It is going to basically fall in this direction from the explosion, which makes sense because it's coming from the shot and going that way. So one of the trees is going on its side, more or less from partway up. All right, and then that will go to its phase again. Gains 2. It is going to take a dodge action to try and be more prepared with the active defense and pick the rock, which will give it another +1 on it.
It's doing what I've been doing.
Well, right now it's, dealt with an explosion and not knowing what the hell's going on. It's not human. It does definitely know that there's attacks, but it doesn't exactly grasp everything. So yeah, that will give it a +1 for if it tries to defend against something. And it does have a determination die if it is trying to go up against Oppenheimer, since it recognizes the threat, it just doesn't know what it is, just knows where it's coming from. Elidon currently still being invisible, it can't use it for that.
Ooh, good.
So it comes around to Elidon's phase.
If I want to throw my weapon, does that take 2 AP or does it take 1?
That depends on if you are chucking it, which has a chance of it going wide, or if you are trying to use it as the regular action.
My plan was to move up 1 more space and then throw the dagger that's got venom on it. But I need to know if that's going to take 1 or 2 AP, so...
You could move up 2 and use the chuck. The chuck would give you 1 action point. There's a directional deviation, but it's severely limited because of how close it is on how far that it's going to go. If it deviates a lot, it might reduce it down from a wound to a mark at maximum. So it just depends on how well that goes. Otherwise, you could move closer and use that taunt that you mentioned before, which could lock it down in place while you're still invisible.
I will do that. I'll move up closer to it and then use the taunt.
Okay. So, moving you over and down to be adjacent. Okay, and then with taunt. Right. Just scrolling to where the specific details are on that.
Yeah, when I used the grenade, I knew that you were over there because something just died randomly. At this point, I can't use them because you're invisible. I don't know where you are.
Use them. Just fucking use them. It's fine. I only have one wound. What are you gonna do? Give me one more? You've already given me one.
Hey, it wasn't me. It was the pitching machine.
I blame
Okay.
you.
Correction, taunt would be two action points. However, you could use that potentially as saving one and use it as a reaction. So you would be able to draw one from your next phase if you need to use it.
Well, at this point, you're more or less locking him down so I can keep shooting him.
Well, if the taunt doesn't work, then it would be able to move again. Whereas if you shoot it before it gets around to them, then they just have banked an AP. If you do the chuck, you can potentially deal a wound, which could kill it, or mark. So, just depends on...
So me moving up and then chucking is better than...
It's potentially better. However, it can not... It can just simply move if it gets the chance to before it becomes your phase again. The taunt can potentially be used when it's not directly against it. However, it is... it's not as much of an advantage as being adjacent was, is all I'm going to say, because you would have gotten an extra die from the fact that it's there. So you could either bank the 1 AP, use it on the reaction, and you get 1 die advantage, or you could do the chuck and potentially kill it now, or at least deal a mark. And it would be Oppenheimer immediately after you.
I'll do the chucking.
Okay.
Chuck at it.
Alright, roll a d6.
What's a d6?
How much stab can Elidon stab?
Fucking a lot, if the dice allow me. That's mediocre, that's a 3.
Okay, that's moderate left. Roll another d6.
Oof. That's another 3.
Okay. So, moderate left and falling 2 movement spaces short. Obviously, it can't fall short because you are directly adjacent to it. However, that does mean that you have 1 disadvantage on the attack roll itself. Because it's basically like throwing it half limp wrist at it when you're right next to it. So you can still roll. I will roll it. It still has 1 die disadvantage because it doesn't know where you're at for how much it's reducing from your roll, and you have 1 disadvantage. Okay, that would be 9 total that it would be subtracting from whatever your end result is.
And I'm rolling 3, but taking the shortest of 1.
Correct.
Gotcha. Don't fail me today. Well, I believe this cancels out, for I have rolled an 8, a 3, and a 1.
Well, that would come to 0 if you choose not to roll anything else.
I don't believe I have any more luck die.
You do have chance and fate, I believe.
Yeah, you do have those 2 dice.
I will use fate. What do I roll for that?
Okay.
I believe fate is a D10.
Yep. So you can potentially increase it from a 0 at most to a success at cost, which would be a mark.
You also have the chance dice, which is a D8.
Right. And if you get them both, the maximum you could get would be an 18, which would be a straight success, which is still a mark. However, if you get 10 to 15, there would be some cost for getting the mark.
So I can use both a chance and a fate?
If you choose to do so. I will say, however, as you're aware, at most you're going to get is a mark. It still would have to. It still would have to try to find you, and you are currently adjacent to it.
That's fine. It has no clue where I'm at, and a knife just came out of nowhere. That's all it knows. I'm rolling both a fate and a chance.
Okay.
Don't fuck me. Don't fuck me. I mean, that's fine. That is a 10 and a 3.
Ooh.
Okay.
I at least get a luck back. Yes.
Immediately spends luck.
I'm not spending luck yet. Hold on. I have a higher chance of getting a fucking jinx again than a luck.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a success at cost. So you do deal the mark. And
What about the venom?
Oh, that's right, the venom.
yes. Remember that requires that it deals a wound to be able to deal that fully.
Even partially, that's fine.
I will say the cost is going to be, because it was a limp throw and bounce back, you're going to have to look for the knife after all is said and done if you've got the time.
That's fine. I feel like Elidon has an extra knife on them anyways.
I feel like you have at least 8 on you.
I definitely.
You don't
I
have
feel like I'm
8.
bad then.
You don't have 8, but you do have quite a few. However, it still would be probably a good idea to always keep stocked up. So,
yeah, but I just imagine Elidon is like in Pirates of the Caribbean. Remove all your weapons. And just clank.
Oh yeah, I'm
clank.
that person that just has all those. Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Elidon has all of it. Anyway, so yeah, they lose that one. They grab another one from their infinite mount that they have.
yeah. One second here. Let's see here. You have... You have 3 that it could possibly have been. I'm not going to say which they are because it's important in this moment. Do you know off the top of your head which one you would have used? Which is your primary one that you grabbed for?
Which dagger I used?
Yes.
Do I have that information on me? I don't remember if I have that information on me or not.
Okay. There's a reason why I'm asking, because it'll make a big difference between what happens on which type of dagger that you would have thrown. So, since you don't know off the top of your head, I want you to roll a d6. 1 or 2 is dagger number 1. 3 or 4 is dagger number 2. And 5 or 6 is dagger number 3.
That's a 2.
Okay. The dagger bounces off of it after dealing the mark and returns to your hand. You've got the returning throwing dagger.
Yes!
Very nice.
Yes! I did smart, guys. I totally did. I actually don't remember where I put that information.
I meant to do that.
That's why I double checked, because I was like, oh, wait a second. It disappearing may not have much of an effect.
No, of course not. I threw the correct one and made sure it had the venom. I did great, guys.
Hey, I mean, it would make sense for Elidon to use that a lot, because it will just keep coming back.
Yes.
But I didn't want to say for sure you did. That's why I asked you first, and then had you roll.
No, it's fair. I don't have to go scour through all of our lovely conversations to remember which fucking daggers I have.
Well, just type in dagger and look at your sheet, and you should see that you've got 3. You've got 4. You've got a hidden dagger, which I believe you've got in your boot. You've got simple steel. That's just for, knife fighting, basically. You've got a regular simple steel throwing, and you have a returning dagger. So you have 4 in total.
Alright, cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the open, you just saw a knife come out of nowhere. And then disappear.
At least I know I can shoot without hurting you.
You saw exactly where I came from.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
If you make an attack during your phase, I will say, if you've got any memory, you can use that to make sure to affect your spread if you're using your shotgun.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely using shoddy. It's already in my hands.
Shoot towards my duplicate. That's fine. Just not at me.
Right.
Sorry, I accidentally killed you. It's,
You whore.
Okay. What I'm saying, though, is that because you're aware of that, not only can you avoid hitting the real Elidon, because you already knew that the duplicate was a duplicate from the fact that it went through it trying to tackle it.
Mm-hmm.
However, even if you get a failure with cost, you still would not hit Elidon, which was a possibility.
Yep.
Otherwise. But as long as you roll the memory after your regular roll and can bump it up from a failure with cost, then that would prevent that.
Alright, we're going to find out if I hit him then.
So, don't roll the advantage on the memory unless you would get a failure with cost. Then we'll see if that affects it.
Yep. We have 3, 6, 6, 10. So 16.
Okay. So you have +1 luck and 16 on that.
But waiting to find out if I need to spend some luck to hit him.
1 second here. I need to roll on that, but since I had scrolled
again,
for the
shot, so
I had scrolled for the dagger, so I had moved past where I had the resolution ranges. Okay. So yes.
I will say, although I said yes, shoot, if Elidon is still going to come out at this open and just be like, you 4.
I expect no less.
Okay. So
This is
That
not the
would-
first time I accidentally shot you.
that would be a -7,
-7, all right.
which would drop it down to a failure but bonus. However, I'm going to roll one of my luck, and that's a 5. So I'll drop it down by 12. So you're down to
Okay.
a 7, which is still a failure but bonus, but it means that you'd have to roll more to potentially deal a full wound instead of a mark.
I'm going to roll
Roll
a fate dice.
Oh, wait, 1 second.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have rolled the d6. I should have rolled the d10 because it has desperation.
Okay.
Because it knew where the attack was coming from. So 1 second here. That's 7 plus 3. That's 10. So that would be
16
Still-
minus 10.
that would be 6 instead of 7. So still a failure but
90.
bonus, but it's 1 less. And I didn't
And I
use
believe
my
10
luck
was
then.
the breaking point.
10 to hit it with a wound at least, yes.
Yes, I want to wound it. So I'm gonna do 2 luck dice. That is 6. 6 plus 6, 12.
Okay. So
Just a
that,
whole bunch of painful Foki crystals.
so that bumps it up, and that deals a final wound. And the second headless one, well, the first on the map, but the other one is now also deceased.
Nope.
Yay.
And given an
Killed
observation
one
around, we're good.
We killed 1 each. We are amazing.
Okay. You're saying that aloud for Elidon to be able to speak up?
Yeah, basically, I'm checking with them because I know they're way more observed than me.
Okay. Elidon, are you responding, or are you checking, or...
I am checking first before I respond.
Okay. With you checking, you're currently holding fixation on your illusionary duplicate and your invisibility. Would you like to drop
dropped
your
the
illusionary Okay, I was just about to say, and potentially fly up or otherwise move to look around.
I'm gonna drop them both and just fly up and move.
Okay. So, how high up do you want to move?
Enough not to go past the tree line, but like just below so I can still kind of see the ground.
Okay. You can move up 10 per action point. You have 2 action points, so you could go up 20 right now.
How tall
I'm just
are
going to
these-
reload my shotgun.
How tall are these trees?
They range in height 30 to 50 feet.
Okay, so yeah, I just go the 20 and I'm just looking.
Okay. I will scroll down briefly and grab the 20 feet up height thing and move you on top of that. There we go. And you are 20 feet up presently. And that would use your AP from that. Oppenheimer, you said you're reloading.
Reloading, defensive, as I'm just ready for an ambush.
Okay.
It
So,
only just sees Elidon come out of nowhere. Just pop.
And also pulling out some rope for getting ready to drag a body.
okay. So your reload would use 1 AP. Defensive, putting that back up for the current round would be using another AP just to be on the safe side. And then it would be Elidon again and continuing with you pulling out the rope.
Yep.
Okay. Elidon, at present, I want you to go ahead and make a traversal check. And you can use observation or survival, or both, to look around at tracks, potential for other things that might be in the area, etc.
I'm just going to use observation since I do not have one in survivalism right now.
Okay.
I mean, you could, in theory, use survivalism and support it with observation, get some points in it.
That is true.
I could, but I feel like observation would be the smart one right now, just because
Sure.
I'm mainly observing. I'm not really trying to survive at the moment. That is 2d6, right? Or not 6, 2d8.
2d10.
2d10. Brain? I like grabbed my 10s and stuff.
2d10. And
anyway.
you have 1 rank in observation?
Yes.
So be 3d10 and pick the 2 highest.
Gotcha. And... Ooh. That is a 3, a 6, and an 8. So, 14.
Okay. With that being a 14, that is a success at cost. You definitely can see the tracks and see the general direction that they were coming from is the direction that the Warren had appeared to be when you guys had left. I will say one moment here. As you are flying up, a bird sitting on a branch ahead takes a dropping onto your shoulder as your cost.
There's just a flying bird dropping now.
Just a
I've
bird.
been accosted by bird poop. God damn it.
Just a bird on a branch higher up in the tree that just let it loose.
He just pooped, and I happen to be in range.
Yeah. So, while that is on you, until it is cleaned, it will have a scent, which may potentially give a dive advantage for something that can smell with olfactory observation. Regular observation is not going to be affecting it too much in that regard. If you are interacting with somebody, there's that possibility of that coming up, for hygiene-wise and things like that. Just in general, mechanics-wise, for that sort of thing. That said,
see nothing.
You can, like I said, you can definitely see the trail from where they had come from. You can't see far enough to see necessarily if there are more or not, due to how high up you went and how the trees are spread and shrubbery and other things like that. You could try moving further south or moving higher up or just general sweeping over the area, but from your current position, that's what you're able to gain.
Well, seeing that there's no immediate threat at the moment. Elidon believes that they are safe and flies back down to open.
Okay.
Coast Peak.
All right. Sling shotgun. Make sure I have my knife on me. Start tying a rope around the body of one of them. And just say, you get one side of the stretcher, I got the other. And I am going to induce a traversal things that will increase my strength and stability via Chronal's ability to help me be more agile. And then I can basically handle the back, and Elidon can handle the navigating forward.
Okay.
That's my thought process. We need to get out of here now, which is why I'm going to use magic to buff me.
So you could use that for mobility to help you in terms of
Hypnosis.
affecting your movement, or relocation for forced movement of it. Since you're talking about inducing an ability.
Yes, I was thinking about inducing a hypnosis ability. Since we both have hypnosis, we work together. We both get the bonus to traversal, and then we can move faster.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure on whether or not you were using it for mobility or relocation. There's a difference between the two, and a matter of whether or not you're using it to help with its weight, or if you're using it to help you with the fact that there's underbrush and other things that you might trip over.
Oh, I was thinking more weight, because...
Okay, then you'd want to use relocation with it then.
Got it.
Okay.
So yeah, if we both do a hypnosis induce, we should be able to reduce the weight of what we're carrying so we can move better.
Okay.
Basically, hypnosis is a source that we can both do a spell at once, and we can just... we both benefit from it.
Yeah. Hypnosis can be used whether it's with a spell or separately. It can be as simple as, even just physically lifting it. But in this particular case, with an induce, yeah, it would probably be some form of magic to bolster the weight carrying that you guys have. So, if you can both roll 2d10 and however many ranks of induce that you have.
I have one in induce.
I don't know how many I have in induce.
Probably not a lot, considering it's not your normal shtick.
That is fair.
I'm going to use density for my source. Or not my source, my category.
Where is induce? Hold on, I gotta figure out where induce is now.
Okay, so I got 3.
So you gain...
Induce is there.
Yeah.
So I don't have anything induce.
Yeah.
In induce.
You can use this to be able to gain progress in induce. You just wouldn't gain advantage on the ability.
Okay, so then...
Just a straight 2d10 for you and 3d10 for Oppenheimer.
This was supposed to be... Yeah, okay, cool. So... Do I get one because I have a point in density?
That would give you a +1.
+1. Okay, not advantage, but +1.
Domain control gives you +1 on it.
Got it. Alrighty.
Ooh, I got a 5 and a 6.
I got a 6 and a 4. I got a 10.
Oh, fuck you.
Well, hey, you got more than me.
Wait, no. You have a 6 and a
I
4
only-
plus 1.
Oh, plus
You
1,
have
11.
We both got a 15.
So,
No, I have 11 and you have a 15. You got more than me either way.
No, I didn't get 15. I got 11.
Am I counting wrong? I am counting wrong. What'd you roll again?
6 and a 4.
It's 10. Okay, yeah. See, you got better than me.
so you both have 11. That's success at cost for both of you. You're
I'm fine
moving.
with my cost being I am not regarding my health and safety in favor of speed.
That's what I was going to say. Is you're moving through quite a lot of roots and shrub and underbrush and branches and such. Do you want to both take it as just a simple mark?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Stub your toe a few times, normal stuff.
I mean, look, we took no damage in this fight.
Technically, we both. Well, I did, and
No, you did. I did not. I'm amazing. Anyway.
Well, you managed not to be found by the fact that they didn't have something that would necessarily help with finding something that's invisible. Or
I know. I just like making fun of the fact that I did not get found, so therefore I did not get hit.
Yeah. Or a widespread range of attack kind of ability. They could
you're
have...
like my rogue I'm currently playing because I avoid danger like the plague, and that's what you do with your invisibility.
Fuck yeah. I don't want to get hit. That's great.
Yeah.
They could have...
I get hit by freaking balls from the dodge machine. That thing almost fucking killed me, so I don't like it.
Yeah, they could have potentially tried to use some of the dirt that they had dug up to throw it at you, but they didn't think of that. So, different ones, depending on how old they are, may try different things. I rolled them just off of the hex grid for tactics, substituting only once when something didn't make sense. So everything else was just rolling on what they might have done tactically per the standard. So, with that said, the two of you are easily able to grab one of the bodies and eventually...
And we also have the stretcher of the victim, too.
Yes, you have the stretcher of the victim. That was still being pulled by the horse, though, as it went away.
Oh, I thought it fell off the horse.
No, the horse took it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
My horse took it away from you. You're the one, because it just said, fuck it, this shit is gone.
Seems
Yeah,
like not my problem.
It basically...
Exactly.
It fell out of your grasp, but the horse was able to drag it. It's not in the best condition because it was dragged versus being carried. But the remains, at least, were able to get up and out to the highway. So, together, you're able to move... You're able to move across 3 phases without any interruption, and maneuver through different tree branches, roots, rocks, and things in the way. Before the next thing that is a thing that's in your path. There is a ring of red mushrooms directly in front of the two of you, and you can see past a couple of shrubs the highway in the distance.
I'm not going in that circle. I'm going to go around it.
I mean, I don't feel like going to talk to the Fae right now, so yeah, I'm also going to
We don't need their hospitality yet.
I don't
Okay.
need to deal with them yet. Not yet. We just fought one thing. Or two.
Okay. So I'm going to say that you're going to take an extra phase to carefully move around it before resuming. So that's going to basically reduce it by 1 from how far you normally would go in that period of time. But you're able to get up to about that far. And now that you're a lot closer to the highway, you are able to see that the horse is further north on the opposite side of the highway, just with the body waiting. And there are some people that are nearby. You would recognize them as citizens of Thornton. There is a teacher who works at the school, and there is somebody who has a house that is in the family that you're not sure quite what they do since they largely stay indoors. You figure that they do something like wood carving or something else that they can sell long distance, and they don't leave the house often, or they may be retired at a young age. But yeah, 2 adults who are near the horse and near the corpse.
But we make it out of the woods and everything?
You are on the edge of the woods. You can see them from where you're at. They have not yet seen you.
Should we ask him for a cart?
Open can, yes.
Hold on,
Alright,
immediately
then.
as I get behind you every chance they can.
Alright, sounds good. And continue just approaching them. Obviously being wary of the road so we don't get hit, but when I'm within not screaming distance.
Right, I'll be right back.
I don't want to alert any more trouble, so I'm willing to raise my voice but not scream.
Okay. You will not need to scream to get attention.
Yep.
However, the teacher absolutely does scream as I
Yep.
see the 2 of you hauling this massive beast between your hold.
Would it be comforting the moment they realize it's me, considering I am notorious for pulling weird things out of the woods?
I would say that
Like-
that's dependent on you trying to use a calm check or something else.
Okay.
For your reputation, I would give you a +2 on it because of being with
Okay.
Grim as long as you have.
How about reason?
You could use reason. You could use calm. There's a few other ones that you could use potentially. Yeah.
Alright, so I'm thinking I'm going to use calm with reason support.
Okay. So you'd be gaining progress for calm.
Yes. Do that with the +1. That is
It
1,
should be
3,
plus.
10.
It should be a +2
Plus
for
2.
your
Alright, so
reputation with Grim.
I'm at 15 then. And I gain a luck and a jinx. There. But yeah, that's 15 total. As I just kind of walk up going, calm yourself. This ain't the weirdest thing you've seen me drag out of the woods.
Okay. And that is a success at cost.
Probably people absolutely disgusted by me.
I'm gonna say the cost is the individual who you are trying to get to calm themselves starts hyperventilating. They're not screaming anymore. They're trying to calm themselves down as they're freaking out at what they're seeing.
I offer a blindfold and just be like, sometimes it helps not being able to see.
Okay.
I have weird ways of solving problems.
I'm going to say, go ahead and make the roll again with the +2, but you do not gain the reason bonus on it.
Okay.
Just because their particular line of work, teaching knowledge, teaching understanding, grasping things, and being told it's best not to see and know, to them doesn't sound rational, even though they don't want to see it. So it's like
9 and 8.
Yeah.
So 20.
Okay. So yeah, that is a straight success. So you do at least get them to stop.
19, but yeah.
Yeah, that still ends up being a straight success. So you at least get them to stop hyperventilating and to briefly put the blindfold on just long enough to clear their head, take it off, and hand it back to you.
Yep.
And now they're still clearly stressed, but they're not screaming or fainting at seeing the headless one.
Yep. Step 1, someone got a cart we can use. And step 2, that corpse over there on that cart is someone we found. We need to bring it in so the coroner can look at it and make their own judgments. So, yeah, someone got a cart we can use. This thing's heavy.
Okay.
I think we brought a cart, but I could be wrong.
Did we bring a cart?
Because you brought your horse. Mine just was coming in with us to grab things in case I needed to eat things.
Oh, yeah. Where's my cart and my horse?
They would be still near the edge of the forest further up the highway. You could get them to that. I will say the coroner, you would know Siggin's Hollow being a little larger would have one. Thornton wouldn't have one of their own. So you would have to bring them.
Basically, I'm going to call G.R.I.M and be like, I have 2 corpses. Someone come pick them up.
Okay. Well, there's one still in the woods, but you grabbed.
That's one in the woods. All right, I thought we grabbed. I thought we grabbed both.
But I thought we grabbed both too. But
Okay. Okay. Henosis is when you're working in union together on something. That's why I thought you were using it on one together.
I thought it was the ability to reduce the weight. Each of us use it on a body, and then we maintain the ability together.
You can do that.
Okay.
It's a matter of just in the future clarify what you're doing. Like, there's different rituals. There's things like, riling yourself up together, gym bro kind of thing, and then grabbing something and lifting it together like a sack of potatoes. There's, riling each other up and you both grab something separately. So just to clarify how you're doing it. So I will say, in this case, you can. I would have had you go at a slightly slower pace, but you still would have gotten there in the end.
Okay.
So that's still fine. So yes, you would be able to get both of them eventually to the highway, and they would have been at the horse wondering what the hell's going on with this corpse that is there. They would recognize Elidon's horse, and the fact that Oppenheimer's horse is further down the highway. So they know something was up enough to wait around and not, try to steal the horse or, figure that somebody else was owning it if somebody else came up that was a stranger.
I feel like anyone trying to get close to my horse would have just been yeeted anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Very possible.
There's a horse thief around here. Where are they? In the tree.
Very possible. Very possible. Thankfully not, but it's a possibility. But at least you two are known well enough in Thornton specifically, not as much in Siggins Hollow, but enough in Thornton that, yeah, your horses were fine being by the highway unless somebody else came through who was, going to attack the two citizens.
So, I look back at Elle. Hey, could you go get the cart real quick? I'm going to make sure these here folk are safe.
Elidon's just gonna nod their head and take their horse with them so they can move the body better. At least the body that the horse has.
We'll leave the big bodies over here, and I'll make sure the people are safe. Just send... Yeah. You can use your fly speed or your horse's speed to handle the rest.
Yeah, it's fair.
Eventually, you're able to get the corpse of the young students over to the cart, get them carefully loaded onto it, and both horses walking together to bring the cart at a moderate pace, but, less tiring for them both to pull it than for just one, especially considering there's now going to be two hulking additional bodies added to it. I will say that they can pull the two headless ones and the corpse without a problem pulling the two of them together. However, if there's a need to go at speed, if something is to happen, they may have more difficulty with more weight than that in the future.
Because we did build them to be the beefy boys of beefy boys, so...
Well, I'm saying in terms of, if the two of you are riding on them while they're pulling the cart... If you had, say, found another two headless ones, you would have been moving at a crawl with the horses. It would still be faster than carrying them all yourself. It's just a matter of they're big and they're pretty dense. So it's something that you would have noticed even with your ability dragging them along is they're heavy.
Yeah. So yeah, just while you're getting the cart, just went out investigating some trouble in the woods. And as you can tell, we found trouble. And now we got to get these over to the smart folk. I'm just the hunter.
All right. Well, the two citizens, seeing that you're able to get it onto the cart and are taking them over to where the coroner is in Siggins Hollow, they just simply wish you the best with whatever it is and ask if there is anything specific that they need to keep an eye out for regarding those kinds of things, because they haven't seen them before. One of them having mostly stayed inside, and the teacher, not being out in the woods a lot.
I give warning about I am unfortunately not the most filtered individual, so I discuss how it looks like these creatures burst out of people's chests, right?
Mostly the stomach portion, but yes, out of the torso.
Yeah. So they burst out of the stomach, and point at the body. That's what's left. And then we got the whole, they describe athleticism and how they have smart pack hunting mentalities, stuff like that.
Eye stalks move.
Yeah, and I'm not being like a nice little, it's okay, they hunt this way. No, I'm going, man, it was real gross when like I saw a stomach bursting thing, like, ugh. And it is not fun to listen to.
Got it. Keep an eye out for anybody who is clutching their stomach. Okay.
That's a smart way to put it, yeah.
I will try to make sure that the student meals are not something needing cooking, to be on the safe side for now, so somebody doesn't spread a panic from meat gone bad.
Yeah, don't ever come out in these woods alone. Even us two ran into a little trouble.
I feel like at this point, Elidon's just coming back with both horses.
Yup.
All right, and the two
Having no clue what you have told them.
Yup.
Yeah. The teacher basically more or less is like, they definitely aren't planning on going out in the woods anymore. There had been discussion about a nature walk. That's clearly going to not happen now. And that, like they said, they're going to make sure that, at least for the foreseeable future, the school meals are going to switch to stuff that is, prepackaged, dry stuff, nothing that needs to be cooked to be safe, so that somebody doesn't get a stomach bug and cause a panic. It's
Well, and also, we don't know how they reproduce.
right, but I mean, if somebody's showing that they're having a stomach ache, then people are possibly going to freak out if the information spreads. And the teacher and even the person who stays indoors most of the time know your reputation in Thornton enough that they just automatically assume that what you said is going to get around the community enough that people are going to freak out about stomach ache appearances. So
That's why we need the coroner to investigate these things to find out exactly how they reproduce. Smart move, by the way. Stick to prepackaged. This way, if it's in the food or water, y'all are safe. Meantime, give me your number.
they blink at you for
Elidon's
a couple of times.
Definitely gonna look at you and just be like,
Open?
You're a
Interested?
teacher. You need updates on the safety of the area.
Okay, well, they just point back over at where the school is and they say, I just live in the house that's behind the school. The
Good enough.
community, with the fact that it's placed where it is when the ley lines came through due to the cataclysm, you asking for their number, they don't have a phone line and have been in the community long enough that they're not even used to the fact that some other places do have phone lines. So you saying their number, they're thinking you're talking about the street address at first.
And I can't argue with that. I mean, it's valid.
So,
oh,
yeah.
I thought you were trying to hit on them.
I know, right? Playing this character, I am deliberately choosing not the best phrasings.
So, yeah.
Elidon definitely is gonna make fun of you on the way back. It's gonna be great.
Perfect.
They at least gave you enough information about where they live and where the school is so that if you do gain some information, you can pass it on to somebody who would then pass it on to the student body and faculty. So it's not really a big school. It's got a class of like 20 each graduating year at most.
And you get me involved if you do any more nature walks.
They just nod emphatically and don't say anything about that. It's like,
Yep.
you could probably guess if the school wants to schedule nature walks, they probably don't want anything to do with it after hearing about all of this, unless stuff gets 100% proven that there's no problem anymore. They have no interest in leading a nature walk anytime soon.
I'm working on reworking my land. There's a chance that I could have secured, safe areas for you guys to go into.
Okay. They definitely give a thoughtful expression and nod at that. They definitely still are kind of hesitant, like, not going to do anything with that until it's all done and settled.
And I look at the other guy. What do you do?
Carve things. He just reaches into his back pocket and pulls out just a small pouch that's got an assortment of different whittling knives, and then reaches into a pouch on the side of his pants and just pulls out a small little wooden figurine that just basically looks like a picture miniature form of your hairy uncle.
Are you seeing him too?
He just gives a very slow nod. Several years ago.
I'm glad to hear he's moving around still.
He just gives a firm nod at that.
My uncle, look at that little thing.
Never seen him.
Something real wrong with you. Anyways, I do have some work for you. Particularly both of you. I got criminals that come in that need educations. So they can have a better life when they're out. And you, Whittling, A, have needs of your fine detail skills, and B, maybe you can teach the other prisoners how to do some whittling, and then they can make a little bit of a money experience that way.
Okay. The one who does the whittling kind of just rubs their chin for a little bit and gives a little shrug and says, "Can talk about it at some point, yeah."
And the teacher?
Well, I suppose it depends on the level of their education. I teach junior high, so it's possibly too low for those who finished high school, and for those who never went to school, it might be a bit too high. So,
Well, there's a trick to helping people. It's the credits they hand out are based on their actions. So if they go through your school and get re-educated, that would mean that they have done something for the community. That is one extra point in their favor.
I suppose we could talk to the faculty to see if they could be an aid for certain classes depending on their education. At present, I don't think that they would probably, the board would allow coaching on their own or classes on their own, but perhaps a single one at a time aiding with teaching certain subjects could potentially help. It's junior high, so we've got literature, history, home economics, math, science, choir.
I'm planning on building a school on my land too, but For your safety, there will be someone there with a weapon, ready to intervene if there's trouble. But I don't get the trouble people. I get the people who like did petty theft or whatever.
Well, I can understand where you're coming from, especially with experience if you've dealt with many. But the school board, I don't think that I can really convince to guarantee anything in that particular regard. I don't have that much sway.
I just take out a piece of paper and basically write down Oppenheimer's idea. Do blank, insert the idea. And then the school board has a section they can write in. They can roll it up and then give it to the mail service, and it'll send to G.R.I.M to my person.
Okay. He will take it and at least keep it under consideration, but he has definitely made no guarantee. Aside from that, he would definitely try to do something about the school food, at least for the time being.
Yep. That's about it. I hop on the cart and just kind of... We gotta go before there's more trouble, and y'all should not stick around here. I did set off an explosive that might aggravate the locals.
Okay. Alright. And anything that Elidon would say or do before the two of you start riding off towards Sigyn's Hollow?
It was more in response to when,
Give me your number.
well, I mean, there's that for sure, but I was gonna say more for like when you were like, oh yeah, I get the criminals that have only done measly things. Elidon's like, have I done measly things? Kind of just more reflection on themselves, like,
Elidon is assassin.
Yeah, see, here's the difference. You ain't been caught yet.
fair. Again, Elidon is not saying this out loud. They're just thinking this. They're just
Okay.
kind of like that whole, like, they just kind of turn to themselves every now and then, like, huh?
Am I the bad person?
Am I the idiot? Did I do wrong?
But yeah, no, as they get ready to leave, Elidon's definitely gonna be like,
Open?
What?
Interested?
Nah, I need someone who can have kids. That there feller can't have kids.
Teacher?
I thought the teacher was a woman, to be quite honest. But I could be wrong. I didn't get any sexes of who was what.
I thought it was a guy myself.
I will say that the two of you would probably be unable to tell. At the very least, they don't really have like big muscles or big curves, and they did speak in a kind of ambiguous inflection. So you're not entirely certain, and they didn't say their name. Neither did the Whittler, since it wasn't asked. And the two of you are riding your horses over towards Sigyn's Hollow to find the coroner, to potentially find out what happened.
The entire trip is just us arguing about what they are.
I feel like it's just more of like... I feel like Elidon's definitely just more of like,
Not interested? Why ask number?
I contacted them to make sure they're safe.
Not safe normally?
Not with them things out there.
So, not interested.
Nah. They ain't weird enough for me.
Elidon weird?
I was just asking questions at this point.
I mean, you're very strange, give you that. but I don't know if you can have kids, and I don't know how Granny would feel about you, because Granny, she likes to dress up every female with like all the real fancy clothes, and every guy needs to go work the field. And
I feel like Elidon's definitely looking at themselves, just like
Granny Open loves Elidon.
yeah, but there's a
I
difference
love
between good folk versus family.
I don't feel like Elidon knows that enough, so they definitely just like,
Open no love Elidon?
You are an amazing person.
they do not understand the concept of love, by the way.
Yep. Oh, I know. No, you are very valuable, and if anyone even thinks of hurting you, I can and will put them in the dirt. All I'm saying is, if you come to the cookout, we're going to have a grand old time. But if you're family, you got to help with everything. You're a guest, you don't have to.
Elidon never go. Cook out?
That only happens like once every few years.
I'm not go one yet.
Elidon's
As-
like trying to cry.
With my drunken state, just arm over your shoulder. You're okay, you're just confused. It's okay.
Okay.
Open family no like not invited.
You're invited to the cookout. Granny already said that. The difference is you don't have to help with the cooking.
That always helps.
Okay.
You can kill the time skip. I'm just having fun at this point.
Yep.
Well, I think that all in all, that is a good place, however, to leave off as you are riding the horses in the cart off to Siggin's Hollow, having a discussion about the intricacies of good folk versus family, and
I do
amazing
message
person.
Granny about the fact that Elidon does not understand the difference between good folk and family, and now is currently terrified they're not allowed at the cookout. You know, just a...
Elidon does not
oh,
feel like they
no.
are part of the family, and is definitely also writing to Granny, being like, Elidon, not that. Why?
Elidon's not in the family. You're good folk. That gets you benefits. Granny, Granny, they're confused. Help.
Granny don't love Elidon. Why?
Two
Okay.
conflicting messages. It's so great.
Okay, so, I didn't record the specific checks that were for everything that was performed, but I did record, the wounds, the marks, how much luck, jinx, everything on that regard.
I at least tracked my checks, at least.
Okay, so if you tracked your skills and other checks, or did you just check your
I
skill
tracked
ones?
my strife versus traversal.
Okay, so then you at least should have yours, but when I have the transcript from the episode, I'll be able to comb through it to make sure that you guys had everything. But that will take just a little bit of time for that to process on YouTube's back end for the auto stuff, and then for something else online to pull that. It gets generally, like with the first episode, it gets it generally down. I just was running out of space with how many times you guys were gaining and using luck and such, and just ran out of room to keep track of that aspect.
Yep.
Don't worry, I'm at 1 luck, and I believe I'm at like 9, maybe 10 jinx.
Sorry,
It's in the-
I need you to cook some food and use all your jinx.
I will definitely do that.
It's in that general ballpark, yes. I will say that may be a good idea to do some skills stuff that you're really good at to try and burn some of those jinx when you can. but in a less dangerous manner than potentially killing yourself
I
from
will do it
this
all
boss.
on stealth.
All right, you're gonna hide from the pitching machine.
Exactly.
Okay,
Fuck dodging, man. I'm just gonna stealth my ass away.
so I'm going to stop the stream, and then we can briefly talk off air about how you guys feel about the first combat and everything. And after we talk for a bit, then you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And anybody who is watching this in the future, this is the first longer campaign combat session, with the only other time that there has been combat technically before was using the knockout toxin in a surprise round, which stopped it from going further than that. So you guys got a chance to use a lot of different potential mechanics and getting used to how action points accrue and other things like that. And as the campaign is playtesting, that will help smooth some of the stuff before the system itself goes out into book form. But anyway, stream is stopping.